And it's a brave new world, folks. I had to redo this video because I have a new camera, which has a new phone, which has a new camera, which means I had to reset the amount of time I was doing a video for. I just noticed the quality is back down to the general quality, which I did the videos prior to this. And also freeing up space and things along those lines. So, and you'll notice, not from the dash, is that I have achieved greatness in terms of the quality of my videos. I have a stand, a little $14 stand. Why I never actually invested in one until now, I don't know. But point is, now I might be able to do a few more things on the channel. Now we might get some better quality videos going on. But until then, Fighting With My Family. This is a good movie. It's a good little movie. It's my favorite movie of the year. No, I'll go with How to Train Your Dragon on that. But, How to Train Your Dragon 3 right now. That might change probably next week with Captain Marvel, but we'll see what happens. But Fighting With My Family was good. It's telling the real story of Paige, I can't remember her real name, who went on to, become the youngest WWE Divas champion in the Divas division in WWE. The trials she went through to do that, her family, the background she came from. I like this movie quite a bit. It showed a lot of duality a little bit. Like, we get the impression she didn't love wrestling, and she even explained, we see the real people, Paige and her family, in the credits. Explains that up until 13 she really wasn't big on it. Then she stepped in the ring and she did that she was doing that ever since. So we see the duality of it because in the movie it's not just her dream, it's her brother's dream, obviously, and he doesn't get picked, as you see in the trailer. And how both of them kind of deal with that. At one point, originally she was going to quit before, unless they took him, and then he persuaded her not to. But then we see him kind of go into a descent of resentment towards her for a while. And we never truly get why he wasn't chosen. It's implied throughout a lot of it that, first off, he didn't have a special quality that Paige had. And like his other brother who was in jail said, I could have been great, but, Paige did something neither of us did. Or I didn't. She had you. And Vince Vaughn at one point calls him not a main attraction, but a journeyman, someone who's there to make the other person look better. So it's never truly explained, but I do like the fact that they tackle those issues. This is not just a comedy. It's a comedy, don't get me wrong. But it is a movie about family and about dreams and what we do to chase our dreams, and sometimes what we have to do to sometimes give up our dreams so other people that we care about can achieve theirs. What does that entail? What does it mean to chase your dream? And, what is your dream? At one point, she just, confronts her brother on why he's acting like such a dick. And, he says, do you know how hard it is to have a dream your whole life, have it taken away from you right under your feet, then given to your sister, and then have her say she's giving up? Do you know what that is like? And it's like, look, it was my dream too. And then he just calls her out. Then why are you quitting? And, she doesn't have an answer for that. She doesn't. And I like the fact that, there's no villain. This isn't one of those type of movies. But the situation, there's no right or wrong answer in that situation. They're both very much products of their environment and of their family. But at the same time, even though Nick Frost and Alina Headley, who play the parents, and they're funny as hell. They're great. They're also they also give off the vibe of a very, concerned and loving parents. So even though they're like, you're going back there, enough to drag you. You're a convicted felon, Dad. You couldn't go to the States even if you wanted to. Even though that's the case, they ultimately comes like, we're not going to make you if we don't have to, you're a star and all that. And then comments on how her hair is like, what did he say? Like kissing an Afghan. When she dyed her hair blonde and put a tan on. I'm like, and I watched that too. When she came in out like that, I'm like, you look like Miley Cyrus. And look, Miley Cyrus is still only in her 20s right now, early 20s. She's younger than I am, for God's sake. But still, it's like you move. Any of the scenes of The Rock are great because he's The Rock. If you don't like The Rock, you just don't like The Rock. And that's perfectly fine. My dad's not a Rock fan, but, you know, it is what it is. Vince Vaughn is actually really good in the film. Vince Vaughn's an actor I think is a little underrated. Not underrated. He doesn't get enough credit as he deserves, I think is a better way to put it. Because when he wants to put on the serious face, he can put on the serious face. Watch Hacksaw Ridge if you want to see a good movie with him in it. And when he does straight comedy, he can be funny too. Dodgeball, I think, is a hilarious movie. That movie, Couples Retreat, I just rewatched it. It was on TV a few days ago. I just watched it. That's not a bad little movie. So Vince Vaughn is definitely a funny guy in the right context. But he can also be a really good serious actor. Like I said, Hacksaw Ridge. This blends that pretty well. He's definitely got that snarky, sarcastic, kind of jerk attitude that his characters generally have. But at the same time, he's definitely got you understand where he's coming from because it's revealed he actually was a wrestler. And, you know, when he's explaining the whole story or the down spiral of what her brother, or where her brother could end up leading, I'm like, you're going to say this was about you, wasn't it? And sure enough, it's like, yeah, I didn't think it would happen to me. And then The Rock even calls him, see you later, sex tape. I was like, what, sex tape? Oh, yeah, can't say that. Oh, I call him that because he makes people famous. So, yeah, great little dynamic there. Look, I will say this, I'm not a wrestling fan. If I were to watch any sports, it's either like physical sports. And wrestling's not really a sport, but anyway, physical contact entertainment, it'd be boxing or UFC, MMA. That's what I'd be watching because I prefer actual legitimate contact. I get it. There's stories in the ring. It's soap operas in the ring, I get that. Just not my thing. But watching it unfold on the big screen, it's kind of like basketball with Uncle Drew. The movie, Uncle Drew, I thought honestly was okay. Didn't think it was great, but I thought it was okay. I'm not a big basketball guy, but when you watch these guys play basketball, look, making it cinematic makes it more appealing to me. But that's because I'm not a sports guy, I'm a movie guy. So maybe that's the reason why. Is there anything I don't like about this movie? I mean, no, I can't say there's much, if anything. I mean, I liked the main. All the actors are good. I like the dynamic they have where they actually teach kids to wrestling. He actually was teaching a blind kid how to wrestle, and apparently he did go on to become a professional wrestler, a blind wrestler. So dreams can happen, man. I mean, I knew where it was going because it's a true story. So true stories it's one of those things that unless it's like a historically accurate story based on a period in history that I'm not familiar with, I don't ultimately know where the film's going to go in those scenarios. But with this, I knew her dream, I knew it was going to come true. It's kind of like that's the thing with more recent true stories. Like Breakthrough, which I got a trailer for again. I'm guessing the kid got saved. So, yeah, that might be one of my. It's like, I know ultimately this is where it's gonna go. It's the It's the journey, not the destination, obviously. It's particularly with a true story-based movie. It's the journey, not the destination. And the journey was fun. It's a good movie. It's got some heart. It's got laughs. It's a good little movie. Absolutely. I'm not going to bother rating. I'm just going to say, go see it. I'm trying to kind of get away from the rating systems a little bit because it's kind of pointless, ultimately. Because one person can give this, one person can give that. So I'm trying to get away from that a little bit. But yeah, I would definitely say give this movie a shot. Absolutely. Trailers. Once again, I got that Breakthrough, as I just said. And look, this is kind of like this trailer is. Trailers are like the How to Train Your Dragon trailers for me, in the sense that I keep getting this attached to nearly every movie I go to. And this movie doesn't come out till freaking April, which means I'm going to continue to get it in every movie, almost every movie I go to. I swear, we're going to see Captain Marvel, and where I should be seeing a bunch of Disney films, a bunch of Marvel films, maybe Shazam, a sci-fi film, I'm going to see Breakthrough attached to Captain Marvel. And it doesn't look like a bad movie. But it looks like it should be a PureFlix film, which I don't like PureFlix. I don't like faith-based films. Very rarely have I ever seen First off, very rarely do I actually go see faith-based films. Unless they're based off the Bible, like Exodus, Gods and Kings. I saw that because it was based off the story of Moses, which is not faith-based, it's a biblical film. So, not the same concept. This, I'm sorry. And look, again, most of the actors, like, hey, they got the guy who played Luke Cage in there. They got Topher Grace. I know I've seen the heavyset woman. I know I've seen her in other places, and I'm like, wow, she is a very heavyset woman. She's a great actress and a sweet lady and all that, but I'm just like, wow, you are heavy. And I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just one of those things I notice. But yeah, I'm sorry. You know what also bothers me about this film? Also, the trailer for this film. I'm not getting any different trailers. That's it. It's just this trailer, which means their marketing campaign is extremely low, which is good for them because it means they'll probably reap in a little profit if they're lucky. Anyway, Little with, oh God, what are their names? I know both the actors' names. One was the chick in Scary Movie, and the other one's got a TV show, and I'm forgetting both their names. Isla Fisher? Is that it? Isla Fisher? I want to say it's Isla Fisher. I could be wrong on that, but that name does suddenly strike a bell with me. Look, I don't think it looks bad. I like both these actresses better than I do like Tiffany Haddish or Taraji P. Henson. So I'm not a big fan of either of those actresses, I'm gonna be honest. I like both of these actresses more than I like them. So, and I don't hate either of them, I'm just not a big fan of them. I'm interested in this one. I'm interested to see how this is a lesson that gets learned. Like, seriously. I don't care how rich or powerful you are. People won't work for you. People will quit a job over people like that. Like, you don't get to act like a dick and get away with it that easy. Like, she just pushes a kid straight out of the way like it's nothing. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's still funny when she does it, but at the same time, it's like, what makes you think you can get away with? Because you literally, that is more or less assaulting a kid in many ways. Yeah, you pushed him to the ground too. That would be assault in some cases. So, I don't know who you think you are that you can get away with that, but I can't wait to see. That's one of those people where I'd see, it's like, hey, I was like, I'm sorry, do you got a reason to act like a bitch? It's like, excuse me? Excuse yourself. You walk around here like you're the king of the world, but you're not. You're just a woman with a stick up her ass who thinks she's the grand poobah. Get the stick out of here, smell it, realize your shit does not stink, and just move on with your goddamn day and try to be a little bit more pleasant, or someone like me will come and bitch you out again. Have a nice life. Or something along those lines. I've never actually seen someone, particularly in a workplace, but never actually seen someone actually think they are that high and mighty. But I'm like, wow, I can't wait to see you get brought down. And clearly that's the case, because, you see, I believe it's Isla Fisher. I think that is her name. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. Just smacking, like, you need to spank your kids. Like, well, that's me and my mom. Like, everyone got a good laugh out of that. The scene where she's flirting with the teacher, even though she's in a kid's body, like, you forget you're in a kid's body flirting with a teacher. You realize if he were to suddenly flirt back, that would imply that he's a pedophile and would statutory rape you. So, what is going on here? You use your head. You are a little kid. Oh, God. Anyway. Shaft, or Son of Shaft. Look, I can dig it. I didn't see the original Samuel Jackson Shaft, but hey, it's a comedy. It's got Samuel Jackson, Richard Roundtree. It's just one bad, but shut your mouth. I can dig it. I'm just talking about Shaft. Breakthrough. We went over that. The Missing Link from Leica. It looks interesting. I love Kubo and True Strings. It's the same people who did that. And Box Trolls, they make good quality stuff. They don't usually succeed box office wise, but they make good stuff. And Black International, waiting on a new trailer for that, but I'm down for that. Hustlers. I think it's The Hustle. Taking these dirty rotten men for old men for all they're worth, which I think is supposed to be a play on Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, because this, if I'm not mistaken, this was a Dirty Rotten Scoundrel remake, and it basically still is. It's just they wanted to repackage it, repurpose it, rename it, which I can understand that on some level. I can. And then that 5 Feet Apart movie again. I'm sorry. It's trying to be our new Fault in Our Stars. I can't get into that. If anything, that movie makes me that movie pisses me off a little bit, because really, and I get it. I do get it. Don't take your medicine so you can don't live so you can take your treatments. Take your treatments so you can live. So you can take what time you have and make the most of it. I get that completely. But the little dumb is like, and she even calls it like, you think breaking the rules makes you charming? Do you think breaking the rules makes me charming? He's like, no. She even does like the eye roll over it. I'm like, no.